Hey folks, Real Honesty with John Ritland. I'm John Ritland. This is a short review of the movie Rings, aka the sequel to Rings, or The Ring, and The Ring 2 that came out a number of years ago. Well, I'm just going to really say this. It started here, and instead of going forward, the storyline went backwards, and basically we somehow ended up in a worse place than we started. A few spoilers. Mostly everybody dies, because that's what Samara does. And this time her video's gone viral, where you need to share the file with somebody and then you're safe. But then new stuff keeps getting added to the video, because this girl Julia seems to have been chosen to be the rebirth of Samara. Which, if you've seen the trailer, you figured that out, because she was pulling hair out of her mouth and pulling skin off of her hand. So, unfortunately, I knew that stuff was going to happen anyway. And I'd only watched a few trailers. I actually hadn't watched that many. And I was excited, because I was like, okay, I like the original Ring. I thought it was fun. The Japanese version was a lot better. Ringu. And I hope I pronounced that right, since I tend to get some Asian films wrong. But I enjoyed the original Ring. Or at least the original US version of The Ring, especially since I love Naomi Watts. I think she's absolutely beautiful. And it had a good dark setting to it, and it was filmed here in Washington in quite a few parts. I recognize a few of the locations. This one, however, had none of the charm of the first one. Ring 2 was crap. I'm just going to say that right now. But the original, The Ring, for the US, very fun. This one, you had somebody, and I might get the name wrong, but she's from Italy, Matilda and Anna Ingrid Lutz. She played Julia, the main girl. She was fine enough, but it just seemed like the script called for everybody to just be as flat as possible. Like, almost nobody really said much, and no one really seemed that shocked by their death. It's like they didn't do anything to try to combat it or try to run or whatever. Not that there was anything you could do if a ghost is going to come after you, or a vengeful spirit. But you had Alex Rowe, who played Holt. He was in The Fifth Wave, which was also shit. Johnny Galecki, and I have IMDb pulled up here so I can get the actors' names right. Johnny Galecki, he was Darlene's boyfriend in Roseanne. He was also in I Know What You Did Last Summer. He was the guy in the they got killed with the meat hook in the fishing yard. And Vincent D'Onofrio was the most well-known guy. It looks like he's gained about 50,000 pounds. And Vincent D'Onofrio is a good actor. He was on a good creepy level, pretty much like the same as he would be in Law and Order: Criminal Intent. But yeah, after that, Amy Teagarden, she was kind of pretty, and then there were a lot of, I don't want you to say less known, because I sort of recognize some of the actors, but I can't place them. But it was a collection of actors that, maybe, hopefully we'll get more roles. I'm certainly not going to wish that a lot of the younger actors like Matilda or Alex or people like that can't get more roles and grow from this. It's kind of like what I said in my review of Bye Bye Man, spoiler alert, that sometimes movies like this are a starting point, and then maybe you can build up on it. But just the story of it has where a plane crash, if you saw the trailer, you see a plane crash, and, it's like, oh God, what's going to happen? The video starts playing, it's all viral, and then, Samara jumps out and attacks everybody, and that's the end of that. And then Gabriel, Johnny Galecki's character, finds the VCR among the possessions of one of the guys that that crashed on the plane. And he finds a tape, the Samara tape, which somehow has managed to survive all this time without anybody destroying it. That's what I've never understood, is if you don't watch it and you just destroy the tape, how in the world is that not going to solve it? But it takes so characters Julia and Holt, it takes them all over the place to various locations. The story's just not interesting. It's very obvious where it's going from the beginning. You can tell who the bad guy is right away. You can tell who the good guy is. And it seems like they cut out large chunks of the movie, because this character would suddenly jump from here to here as far as how they would interact with others. it was just a mess of a movie. It just was not very good. I mean, like, there were no scares. And the special effects, despite this being 2017, somehow the special effects are worse than they were in 2002. Which I just don't understand. The original The Ring did not hold up to Ringu, which was made on a small budget also. But for $33 million, this film should have been a lot better than it was. And it just wasn't interesting. The PG-13 rating did hurt it. It really did hurt it, and I really think that if they're going to make an unrated edition, maybe they'll have some more violence or stuff like that or whatever, but just the scares were very telegraphed. So were the motivations of various characters. But then other characters would suddenly just act so cold for no reason, and there would be no explanation until like 30 minutes later where you're like, oh, okay, that still makes no sense. So it was just a mess of a movie. No one asked for it. I hope that it doesn't make a ton of money, but I hope that nobody gets fired over it. I just don't encourage people to go watch this because, sorry, I don't care what effort the crew, the director and writer put into this. Maybe the studio was at fault for it. Maybe they had a better vision for it, but it's just the finished product was absolute garbage. So for the younger members of the cast, I wish them the best, and hopefully they can grow and get better roles. Vincent D'Onofrio picked better roles. And maybe he signed up to do this just for fun. But yeah, as far as the cast and crew, I really hope you can go and have better projects than this. Because Rings was crap. It was absolute crap. And it unfortunately hinted at the fact that we may get a sequel to this. Dear God, no. Anyway, my Twitter link is in the description. Like, share, subscribe if you would like. This has been Real Honesty with John Ritland. I'm John Ritland. I'll see you soon.